What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, 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 everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're painting, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. So I hope everybody's well since the last time we hung out. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. I hope you stick around for future episodes, and don't be afraid to look at my backlog of podcasts. I've touched on some really interesting topics. So today I want to talk about aging. I just celebrated a birthday. I just turned 47 years old, and I got to tell you, I could not be more grateful to be getting older. But that wasn't always the case. I remember when I turned 40 years old, I freaked out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I started thinking to myself, oh man, am I far enough in my career? Am I making enough money? Do I have a big enough home? This, that, and the third. And I remember, I'm at my bar and I'm making myself a little birthday drink. And I got a picture of my best friend on my bar. And I got hit with some sort of reality check. And I'll tell you why. My best friend passed away when he was 32 years old. And we always talked about getting old together and all the shit we were going to do together. And I realized at that moment that I'm here complaining and worried about these superficial things. And my best friend doesn't have that opportunity. My best friend doesn't have that option. And so from that point on, I really started to reframe the way I thought about getting older, the way I thought about birthdays. And now I take inventory and I show nothing but gratefulness and gratitude for all of the things that I do have in life. And that hasn't come with, any lack of ambition. No, I'm still very ambitious. I'm a coach, man. That's what I do. I teach motivation, inspiration. But I've learned to focus on the things that actually matter. The things that I believe are success now are not the same things I thought pre-40. I remember, thinking to myself, the first 40 years of my life, I spent in survival mode. And it really wasn't until that moment that I realized just how great a luxury, a privilege it is for me to be getting older and all of the things that I had in my life, all the gifts I had in my life. And so that's what I want to talk about today. So many people complain about getting older. They say, oh man, I'm turning 30, I'm turning 40, I don't look like I used to when I was in my 20s, I've got gray hairs, my back hurts, I got wrinkles. Trust me, I get it. The body changes, your energy shifts, and that reflection in the mirror evolves. But here's the thing. Aging is not some sort of curse. It's not something to be afraid of. It's a freaking privilege. Just like my best friend, there are people who didn't get to wake up today. People who never made it to 30 or 40 or 60. But here you are. Here we are together, still here, still breathing, still evolving. And that's not something to resent. That's something that you absolutely need to honor. It's a freaking privilege. And I'm not stupid, all right? I didn't get this far just on my looks. I get it that we live in a culture that is obsessed with youth, right? Between Botox and fillers and anti-aging creams and BBLs and implants and Photoshop and forget about it. We glorify the youth. We glorify the young, and we downplay the wisdom that comes with getting older. But really think about it. If you really had to think about it, do you really want to go back to your 20s knowing what you know now? Because maybe your skin's going to be a little tighter. Maybe your knees won't creak the way they do now. But your mind back then wasn't where it is today. Your experiences, your battles, your lessons that you've learned, these are the kind of trophies that you only win with time, that you only win with aging. Because wisdom is earned. Growth is earned. And aging is earned. You got to think about these different experiences in your life. You've survived heartbreak. You've survived setbacks, failures. You've laughed. You've cried. And you've learned. And every year is another chapter in your life. It's another badge. And for some reason, we treat birthdays like something to dread. But we have to flip that mindset. Instead, start celebrating your age like it's an achievement. Because it is. Every candle on that cake, and for some of us, the cake's a little bigger. but every candle on that cake, it's a victory lap. You understand? So celebrate that. And you know what's really beautiful about aging? It teaches you how to slow down and how to see clearer. I mean, that is such an amazing thing. Like what happened with my best friend and sitting there and realizing just the beauty of life, the beauty of aging. I needed that reality check. And that's what aging is going to do. It's going to help you to realize not to chase everything anymore. You're going to start, filtering out the noise. You're going to begin to realize what really matters in your life. And you're going to also realize to let go what doesn't. And that, my friends, is an immense sense of freedom. You understand? You have to shift the mindset from you're getting old to you're leveling up. You're hitting a new milestone. You understand? Because you are stepping into a more refined, more focused, and honestly, just a really more authentic version of yourself. I get it. Your body's going to change. And you might need more sleep. And you might not be able to eat the things you used to eat. And maybe you can't drink the way you used to drink. You can't exercise the way you used to exercise. But don't confuse these physical changes, these physical shifts with some sort of personal decline. All right? The reality is that you're not less because you're getting older. You're actually becoming more of you. That's freaking dope. That's dope. But let's be real. We don't actually fear aging. What we fear is becoming irrelevant. We fear becoming invisible. But hear me. Okay, hear me out. Your value does not expire with time. In fact, with the right mindset, it actually compounds, like investing, compound investing, right? The reality is this: you become a resource, you become a mentor, you become a lighthouse for people. You carry stories that can guide someone through their storms, through their challenges, through the shit they're going through in life. Okay, you become a beacon for them. And that, my friends, is power. That's relevance. You understand? So getting old doesn't mean they're going to suddenly put you in some sort of, like in a closet, and then they're going to say, we're done with you. That's not how it works. So the next time you catch yourself looking in the mirror and you start sighing about the lines in your face and the grays and the droopy ass and the saggy breast and the receding hairline and the little bit of a pouch in the belly, forget about it. Stop worrying about that. That's beautiful. It's a beauty. It's a sign of aging, and that's a beautiful thing. You need to flip that script, okay? And say thank you to your body, okay? Say thank you to your body for taking you through life and carrying you through this life of yours. That body is what carried your mind and your heart through all these years, okay? Remember this truth. Aging is a luxury that not everyone gets. So don't think of it as you're running out of time, you're running out of relevancy, that no one's going to give a shit about you anymore, that you're going to disappear into darkness. No. You just need to learn to reframe things, and the rest of the time that you have here on this planet, you need to use it well, okay? You have to learn to use this time well, because you are still worth it. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, please leave a review so you can help Coach Vino feed the hungry algorithm. And if you know someone that might appreciate listening to today's podcast, maybe someone that's getting older and has a little bit of, regret going on, send them this. Sharing is caring. And if you or someone you know wants to work with Coach Vino, you can visit my website, coachvinollc.com. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
Sometimes I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.